Hey, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel where I help freelancers grow their businesses. Back in the day, I don't know why I say that, it makes me feel so old. In the past, if you wanted to send out an email newsletter to your list of subscribers, you would probably need some sort of email marketing software and a list of subscribers. That's still the approach that a lot of people take, but LinkedIn, God bless it, they incorporated a newsletter feature right into the platform. So now you have a way to send newsletters out, high quality, valuable newsletters to people who care about your content. And you can do all of that without ever leaving the platform. Hooray! In this video, we're going to cover where to find the LinkedIn newsletters, how to create one, why you might want to do this in the first place, and some tips for how you can do it successfully. All right, so first of all, where do you find this feature? What you want to do is go to your newsfeed, your homepage, and click on Write an Article. And if you're like me and you have admin access to a bunch of different pages, you just confirm the one that you want to use and click Next. That'll take you here. From here, you just click on Create a Newsletter, and that's it. And then on this page, you want to fill out these fields, so title, description, and how often you plan to publish, then click Done. Okay, so from here on this page, and I even found this a little bit confusing, it looks like you're just creating a regular article. But if you go to the top right corner, you're going to see that it says newsletter, and you can kind of switch back and forth between a newsletter or an article. But that's how you know you're creating a newsletter and not just a standard LinkedIn article. Once you're done writing your newsletter, you click the Publish button, and LinkedIn is going to prompt you to create a post out of it, to share the newsletter. And this is how typical articles work as well when you publish those. Now, here's the cool part. When you publish that first newsletter, LinkedIn is automatically going to create a page that represents all of your newsletters as a whole. You'll also be able to add a description, and it's going to contain the information from your own personal profile. So what's really neat about this is in the future, if you want to remind people that you have a newsletter, you can just send them the link to this main page as opposed to sending them individual newsletters. When you publish a newsletter, your connections and followers will automatically be invited to subscribe. And once they subscribe, in the future, when you publish a newsletter, they're going to get a notification within LinkedIn and also an email. Okay, so you know where to find LinkedIn newsletters and how to create one. Why? Why bother in the first place? Well, if you're not yet using an email marketing software and it's something that's not really on your radar, which I get, this is, a nice way to kind of send out content in the interim. Eventually, you might decide that you want some sort of software, like I use ConvertKit. But if it's just not on your to-do list right now, this is a really simple, intuitive way to do the same thing on a platform that you're already using anyway. It's an excellent way to get your name and your content in front of more people and help them get to know you and like you and trust you. And also, remember what we've talked about before with LinkedIn. It's a cycle, okay? The more engagement you get, the more LinkedIn pushes your content out to more people. And the more it pushes your content out to people, the more engagement you get. And it just keeps doing this over and over again, okay? This means that every time you do anything on LinkedIn, like publishing a newsletter, it's one more instance where you're telling the platform, hey, I'm here, I'm active, I'm providing valuable information, help me grow my network. You're building this spider web, okay? You are at the center of it and you're building out this spider web. And a newsletter is one more neighborhood in the city that is the spider web of your LinkedIn network. I don't know if that makes any sense, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. We're getting off track here. LinkedIn newsletters will help you grow. But quality matters. If you've watched any of my videos, then you already know this. A crappy newsletter is going to hurt you, not help you. So let's talk about how you can create quality content that's really going to resonate with people. Tip number 1, consider your audience. They're the ones you're creating the newsletter for. As an example, my target audience is mostly freelancers. I teach freelancers how to land clients in my program, Revenue Spark. They're the ones I'm helping. So I'm targeting freelancers in my newsletter. Now, I know this might seem like a no-brainer, but I want you to consider this. on my YouTube channel. I also have lots of freelancers watching my content. But because I talk a lot about lead generation, my videos have also inadvertently attracted a lot of recruiters. A lot of recruiters are watching my videos. That's not really my target audience in general, and it's certainly not my target audience on LinkedIn. I am targeting freelancers. So that's who my newsletters are going to speak to. Tip number 2, you want to consider your audience's pain points. What are they struggling with, and how can you help? That's why people are going to subscribe. If they subscribe, what do they get? So you have to make it really clear what you're going to give them. This is about them, not you. Tip number 3, make it unique. What you want to avoid is just regurgitating what you're already posting on your LinkedIn profile, okay? You have to give people a reason to subscribe. And if you're repeating the same information, they have no reason to they have no reason to subscribe. Yikes. Here's an example of what you want to avoid. So I have a newsletter that I manage through ConvertKit. I have a LinkedIn group for freelancers specifically. I'll put that link below. And then I post once a day on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn newsletter might repeat some of that information. There might be some overlap, but my goal is going to make it as unique and fresh and new as possible. Otherwise, people have no reason to subscribe. They don't need it. They're already going to get that information. You have to give them some sort of incentive. Tip number 4, always include some sort of call to action. It does not have to be trying to sell something. Ask them to comment with their thoughts. Ask them to give it a like if it resonates with them. Ask them to do something that's going to get them to further engage with you and your content. Okay, don't just end your newsletter with, well, see you later. This is a conversation. You want the engagement to be going back and forth. You might have noticed something. A lot of these tips sound very familiar to the advice that I've given you in my videos about how to create high quality LinkedIn posts. I have a few of those videos. I'll drop the links below. And that's because the foundation of creating high quality content is largely the same wherever you go. The execution might change, the steps might change depending on the platform, but a lot of the same principles apply across the board. My students and I are using LinkedIn on a daily basis to grow our platforms and position ourselves as experts. And we also use LinkedIn as a tool to generate leads and connect with our dream clients. If you want to know what this process looks like, you might be interested in Revenue Spark. So I will drop the link below where you can book a call to speak with me. If you're still watching this video, it's because you found it helpful, and I'd be very grateful if you could give it a thumbs up and support my channel. If you have any questions, just drop them in a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.